6:15 will begin on time. I'd like to ask everyone to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence. Here. Yes. All commissioners are present. Number 3, the declaration of conflict of interest. Then there is none. Number 4, communications. None were received. No communications. Number 5, minutes of July the 1st, 2014.
Madam President,
Commissioner.
I'd like to make a motion to pass the minutes for July 1st, 2014.
I second that.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Motion passes. All commissioners are present. Okay. Number 6, approval or authorization to advertise for sale of redevelopment-owned properties.
Commissioners, we have had interest in these properties. In your package, you received each property along with a small short description of what each property is currently. The address at 662 Sibley Street was the Capes House Shelter. It's currently vacant, and the old library building located at 6736 Alabama is also vacant. So I'm just asking for authorization to advertise for the sale of these properties.
Any questions, discussion, commissioners? I know, Tony, you're very familiar with these properties, and probably also you, Commissioner Myers.
Madam President?
Yes, Commissioner.
Yes, I am, and I'd just like to make a motion then for approval of authorization to advertise the sale of the redevelopment-owned properties. I will say the addresses for the record: 662 Sibley Street, 834 Chicago Avenue, 824 Hoffman Street, 3835 Holman Avenue, 5515 Claude, 6736 Alabama.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Motion passes. All commissioners are present. Number 7, determination of compliance for Unilever wastewater pretreatment facility project Neptune at 1200 Hammond Avenue in the Robertsdale Economic Development Area. Number 1.
Commissioners, in your packet, you have a letter from Brian Poland, City Planner, in regards to this project. I'm going to just read the first paragraph, which is Unilever is proposing to construct a new wastewater pretreatment facility within the existing Unilever facility, aka Project Neptune. The pretreatment facility will be a permanent facility that is replacing an existing temporary facility. The existing equipment and machinery will be replaced by the new facility. The total investment is $11.5 million, which is broken down to $3.9 million for the building construction and $7.6 million for the machinery. The project is the next step in a greater investment in the plant. As you may recall, the city met with Unilever last year, and they talked about a 4 to 5 year vision of different projects they were going to undertake each year, and this was in line with what they had discussed with us. If you have specific questions in regards to the project, Audra, the plant manager for Unilever, is here to answer, and I won't even try saying her last name. That's the one.
That's it. It's okay.
That's it. Yep.
Hello, everyone. Major, I remember you from the previous project review, but a couple of additions. So there won't be any headcount increase. All the utilities will be used from within our factory. Will not need any incremental connection points. There will be also extra landscaping provided across the Calumet Avenue and Indianapolis Boulevard. I think, yeah, everything's been approved by the district, the system of the pretreatment, the technology, and...
Any questions, commissioners? Discussion?
Nope.
A good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing, and also the project that they undertook last year, they already added some greenery inside the facility. It's kind of dressed it up nice. Of course, we partnered with Unilever a few years back in getting rid of the barbed wire around the facility and put up a nice black wrought iron fence. So making small steps to, make the facility look a little bit more attractive. If you are ready, the staff is recommending that the Redevelopment Commission make a determination that the proposed Unilever Utility Center project is in compliance with the Economic Development Area Plan, subject to final engineering and technical review as part of the permit process.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, motion passes. All commissioners are present.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Okay. Number 8, approval of irrigation systems at Oxbow Landing.
Commissioners, you may recall, we have spoken a little bit about this in the past as one of the improvement projects at Oxbow. The issue that we have had is that we're paying over $500 per watering for the landscaping that we put in, which looks great, it looks fantastic, when we built Carlson Drive and put the medians in. So obviously, we need to figure out a way that once the TIF is gone, how would you continue to pay for all the continuous watering that needs to occur there? So I will hand it over to Mark from Rainmaker Irrigation, another man who I will not try to pronounce his last name, and he could talk to you a little bit about it.
Mark Herchek, Rainmaker Irrigation. The proposal pretty much starts at Kennedy Avenue. It's for the Oxford, and I gave you a sheet, and it's a small version. Mr. Talon also has a larger copy if you wanted to review that. But pretty much the irrigation is covering all the median islands, which is currently landscaped, and also all the parkways located on north and south of that Oxbow Street. It starts from Kennedy and it goes all the way to the end of the construction area. I think a BW3s right now is being built on one side, but it's pretty much just beautifying that whole section. It might be about 1.5 miles.
If you commissioners haven't been by there, I suggest that you do. It's really looking nice.
There's a lot of cutting that needs to happen.
Yeah, there's 510 sprinkler heads that will need to require to cover everything 100%. We're not going to be cutting any lines. We're going to bore under. I'm subcontracting a boring company to drill underneath pretty much the street. We'll handle all the utilities, the permits, and all the other.
That was one of my questions, but you just answered it. So
Yeah, we're going to be using a boret or
won't tear
another
up the street
compatible.
at
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
You won't be tearing up the street. at
No,
all.
no way. No. The boring companies probably going to need about 3 days to do all their work. The irrigation, from start to finish, probably be a week project.
And Commissioners, just for your knowledge, the project will be paid for out of the Gateway's TIF, which is obviously at Oxbow Landing and can be used for infrastructure improvements like this.
Meyer Landscaping, Meyer Landscaping, their involvement in it.
They are. Myers Landscaping and Rainmaker partner in certain projects like this. Myers Landscaping, as you may recall, we put out an RFQ for landscaping contractors, and Myers was the only one that responded. So they are the Redevelopment Commission's official landscaping company as of right now. We do use other companies for smaller projects from time to time, but you're correct.
I met with the employees over there today, and they were doing a great job. I didn't know what they were doing because I didn't see any names on them, but they just had a plain truck and they were planting flowers or whatever they were doing, but they were really working hard, so it's a good one.
Thank you.
And Madam President, then,
Commissioner.
I'd like to make a motion then for approval of the irrigation system at Oxbow Landing for Myers and Rainmaker.
Second that.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Motion passes. All commissioners are present. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mark.
Have a
Thank
great
you,
day.
Commissioners.
Okay, number 9, approval of United Neighborhoods, Inc. as a community housing development organization, Toto, in the city of Hammond.
Madam President,
Welcome.
Commissioners,
Welcome to this.
in your package, you had a Choto Operating Funds Agreement between the City of Hammond Department of Planning and Development and United Neighborhoods, Inc. Over the last week, I have had the opportunity to go to United Neighborhoods, Inc. and review, actually do a recertification compliance review of the books, records, and files worked on by United Neighborhoods, Inc. over the last 12 months. Files and qualifications were very good, to say the least. Their performance was also very good. The complete assessment that I had written for the recertification will state that the United Neighborhoods, Inc. board and staff have operated not only in a compliant manner, but an exemplary manner, reaching their goals, meeting their budgets, and doing all that within compliance of the HUD regulations. With that being said, I'm requesting that United Neighborhoods, Inc. Be recertified as the Choto in the city of Hammond.
Any questions, Commissioners?
I don't have any questions. Dennis, for the record, could you state what the acronym CHOTA stands for?
You asked me that a year ago, sir, and that
I
stands...
wanted it in the record. I know what it stands for, but I just like to have it,
Good memory. It stands for Community Housing Development Organization.
Thank you, sir.
I've got it circled on the contract.
Any discussion, Commissioners? Any questions?
Madam President.
Yes, Commissioner.
I make a motion for approval of the United Neighborhoods Incorporation as the Community Housing Development Organization, CHOTO, for the city of Hammond.
Second.
Thank you. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Motion passes. All commissioners are present.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Number 9, approval of resolution, quitclaim deeds and sales disclosure forms of the Hammond Redevelopment Commission conveying real estate to the Hammond Port Authority for 2622 and 2644 Sheffield and 2650 Sheffield.
Madam President,
Yes, Commissioner. Yes, Council.
these two properties are properties, you'll recall, we entered into an agreement or a partnership with the RDA, and the RDA received some federal funds towards the beautification and expansion of Wolf Lake Park. These two properties were part of condemnations that were used, and the property actually is being used, and it has been used now for over a year as part of the Wolf Lake Park expansion. We had to partner with the Port Authority because the Port Authority actually received the funds that enabled us to acquire the property. But the agreement we entered into, and this goes back several years, was that because the Redevelopment Commission has the statutory authority for eminent domain and the Port Authority doesn't, we entered into an agreement with them that they would pay for everything, but that we would be the ones that would move forward with that eminent domain. That happened. We've had these properties, as I said, for well over a year, and for one reason or another, we probably should have quitclaimed them to the Port Authority right away, but we're sort of cleaning up our past agreement with them. So,
So is that the project that's been going on over there for
yes,
about a month or so?
yes. And if you go over to the festival, you'll be, at some point, I'm sure, on all three of these parcels.
Any questions, Commissioners? Discussions?
I'll just comment, it is a very nice green space now.
Yeah. I've been watching the job going by there pretty often. Everybody's asking me, what are they doing? I don't know. Now I know. Any questions?
Madam President,
Yes, Commissioner?
I'll make a motion then for approval of resolution, quitclaim deeds and sales disclosure forms of the Hammond Redevelopment Commission conveying real estate to the Hammond Port Authority for the properties listed below, 2622, 2644 Sheffield Avenue, and 2650 Sheffield Avenue.
Second that.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, motion passes. All commissioners are present. Public hearing. Number 11.
Commissioners, as you may recall, we have the city, and more specifically redevelopment, has applied for funds for a program called the Blight Elimination Program. The state awarded us approximately $600,000 for the removal of blighted homes. As part of that process, we have to acquire the property and eventually demolish the property. But as part of one of the provisions of that agreement is that you have to have a public hearing. Part of the reason we actually moved the date of this meeting 2 days back was to make sure we can get the publication in for the full amount of time that was needed. I believe Mr. Westland has a copy of the publication.
And the proofs of publication are compliant with Indiana code.
So at this time, if you're ready, Madam President, you can open the public hearing.
We open a public hearing at this time. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Joe Alamillo. I think most of you know me as a former staff member here at the city's Planning Development Department, and we are the consulting firm that applied for the Blight Elimination Program. Unfortunately, I see some of you are able to see this PowerPoint, but I just wanted to give you some basic information about the program. As you can see, it provides some basic information, discuss the positive impact of BEP, and offer the public the opportunity to comment about the city's participation in BEP program. I was also encouraged by, we'll try to keep this short. ICTA, the Indiana Housing Community Development Authority, through its Asset Preservation Department, applied to the Treasury Department for these dollars. And there were actually $75 million that are available statewide. They were broken into 6 divisions. Division 1 included Marion and Lake County. 3 cities actually in Lake County applied. Hammond received an allocation, and that's obviously why we're having this public hearing today. Also, I wanted to mention that it was a very competitive, extensive application process. This money did not come easy. We had to do, there was a lot of work that was involved, a lot of inspections. Properties had to go through a matrix evaluation that the state developed, so forth and so on. The goals that the program has. These are the basic 3 goals that we identified, that the state, I should say, had in their information about addressing severely deteriorated properties, to help prevent foreclosures, and to help stabilize the real estate market in target areas. Those are kind of the umbrella criteria. I included a picture, which you probably have seen, of a house, one of the properties that we're going to take down with this program. As you can see, and there are other properties that aren't in a fire condition like this, but obviously they're severely deteriorated. They have a negative impact on the neighborhood, and they're unsafe. So we will try to get that down as quickly as possible. I'd mentioned the overall dollars. In Division 1, which I mentioned earlier, Marion and Lake counties, there was $16.192 million that was appropriated for Division 1 in the program. The dollars are primarily for acquisition and demolition of eligible residential single-family properties as defined by HUD, and that's 1 to 4 units. So it can't be commercial property, and it can't be more than 4 units. Hammond applied for and was awarded the $615,000. You may have heard some of our sister communities here in Lake County received East Chicago over $1 million, Gary over $6 million. The good news, the bad news is obviously we didn't get a lot of money, but the good news is that we didn't need and we didn't have the properties that qualified like our sister communities, unfortunately. In the information ICTA had, they showed or estimated about 7,000 units that were eligible in the city of Gary. And as a matter of fact, Gary got more than Indianapolis. So you can see Hammond fares much better in the area of severely deteriorated property versus sister communities and even, of course, the city of Indianapolis. Part of the program design encourage program partners, and we're fortunate because we have United Neighborhoods Incorporated here in Hammond. It's a not-for-profit that many of you know has been around for many years now, and it is a CHODO, a community housing development organization, which, as you probably know, is, I think maybe Dennis talked about it, but it is a HUD-certified entity that can do things with home dollars and that kind of thing. And it's under the guidance of Alexis Barber. It really has, because I was involved with the initial creation of the not-for-profits for CHODOs back in the 90s. And she really has taken it to another level. I mean it sincerely. Unfortunately, she has been promoted to the private sector. But anyway, she's left a well-run organization developed. The Hammond Hispanic Community Committee is another partner that was identified in the application. It's a not-for-profit. It's been around for over 20 years now. It serves in the targeted areas and recently was approached by the banks to try to do some urban gardening and that kind of thing, which is an option for our infill, these lots that will be created, and I'll talk a little more about that in a minute. Also, you and I will be the primary administrator of the BP program. It will work obviously in concert with the city's planning development department, but a not-for-profit like that has a lot of flexibility that government entities unfortunately don't have. And being that the UNI has a very close relationship with the city, it really is a good fit. Okay, the goals. Part of the application process was identify a targeted area. And in the application, we identified the second and third districts in the city of Hammond. As you well know, those are the oldest districts in the city, and they've had property that was developed turn of the century. Many of them are very small lots, which cannot be developed. They're demolished, and so that's an issue for a lot of communities. We think as here that in the consolidated plan, they had referred to adopt a lot as a way of trying to deal with some of these lots that are made of property. We think that's included in our application, and we're going to encourage the contiguous homeowners to take control of those properties. Also, as I mentioned earlier, with HHCC, the temporary or permanent use for urban gardens, and I really do believe this is a viable option. I've seen it in Milwaukee, I've seen it in Detroit, I've seen it in Denver. These are really good little concepts. A lot of restaurants are buying locally at urban farms. They can feed food banks, that kind of thing. And we'll see how that goes. Like I said, approach and even offered money to HHCC to initiate that kind of concept. Okay, that's basically, hopefully I was in the time constraints one, it wasn't too long.
I've seen where there was an empty lot, as a matter of fact, right over here on Kenwood Street. And Benny, what's his name? Benny's name? Benny. Ben. Well, what's his name? Buddy.
Oh, Buddy Fenny?
Buddy Finney. I always call him Benny. I don't know why. But anyway, him and Phil Vaness, they came up with this idea to build a pocket park. And it's, you know, it's really a great idea. It's too small for a garden. It would be a perfect place like to beautify the neighborhood, have a little pocket park, place for people to sit and enjoy the amenities.
Yeah, there have been a lot of interesting and creative ideas that have been done in different parts of the country for trying to address those kind of problems like that, yeah.
I've also seen gardens like in Michigan, the neighborhood gardens, they always work on it, and then they donate the stuff to, like you said, like to food shelters, I mean, food pantries.
Ideally, if the contiguous owner takes possession, that's really the ideal goal that we want, because now they get a larger lot, obviously, bigger yard. It gets back on the tax rolls, and it won't really, I don't think it'll affect it that much, their taxable, real estate taxable bill. But it is a good way to the adopt-a-lot model, as I said earlier, and it's in the city's consolidated plan. It's been a goal, and hopefully we can make that more a reality. Also, I did want to say the executive director of the Blight Elimination from the Indiana Housing Community Development Authority, Rihanna Binder, is here. She is committed attending all the public hearings throughout the state regarding the BEP program. I did want to mention also that of that 16.192 allocation, and Rihanna, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe there was about $1 million left from Division 1?
After the assignment of property maintenance, 375.
Oh, okay, okay. Is there any possibility that later on there might be some more dollars available?
There has been a second funding round approved for Division 2. If that money is not used, it will be reallocated through the other divisions.
Okay. So there may be some dollars available in the future also for further acquisition and demolition of these types of properties. And I guess we should open it for public comment if anybody wants to say anything.
Yeah, anyone want to speak or have any questions in regards to the BEP? No one? I think it's a very good concept. I think it's going to beautify everybody's home, and maybe even raise the value. Any questions, commissioners?
Madam President?
Yes.
If there are no remonstrances or people wishing to speak about this, you would need to close the public hearing.
Are we done? Thank you, Joe. I'd like to close the public hearing at this time.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Any questions, commissioners? Discussion? Going? Okay. Number 12, reports. Mr. Taylor.
Thank you, Madam President. I just have two quick things to talk about. One is what Mr. Alamillo just alluded to, which is Alexis Barber, who's been the executive director of United Neighborhoods, Inc. for a number of years and has done an excellent job, has unfortunately found a better job for more money, and unfortunately for us, not for her.
Why ain't you offering more money?
Well, not quite that simple.
Yeah, I know.
But she's going to be leaving us. Tomorrow was her last day. There was a little going away party today that I was able to at least peek in and say hello to, but we're going to miss her greatly. She's done a good job. I was president of the board for a long time, and the new president, Professor Korchak, is here today as well. I think we could both say that she did a great job, and we're truly going to miss her.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I'm sorry, did I hear speech? No speech. Okay. The second thing I wanted to bring up is you may have noticed that we have Ms. Heather Gray, the city controller, is sitting here with us today. Heather sent all the commissioners some information about 2 weeks ago, you may recall, or actually it might have been longer than that, 3 weeks ago or so. And it was regard to were made downstate in regards to redevelopment commissions. And really just to talk about one of the changes today very briefly is that the fiscal agent for the city automatically, after a certain date in July, and it's already passed, becomes the treasurer for the redevelopment commission. Therefore, Heather Gray is now the official for our Hammond Redevelopment Commission. She's not a voting member or anything along those lines, but she's obviously welcome to attend any of the meetings. We'd love to have her at every meeting, so as many as she can make. But she will be our official treasurer, which means in the first week, the first meeting that we have in January of 2015, when we vote for the board, we'll have a president, a vice president, a secretary, but no longer a treasurer. So, but that's why she's here. We're excited to have her. Obviously, she took over the controller's position not too long ago, and she's doing a great job from everything I've heard from everybody, but she's trying to get a grasp on everything, and if she wants to say anything.
Hello, everyone. I don't think I've met most of you, but I'll be happy to attend the meetings. If you have any questions, I'm on the first floor. Always there. You can find me.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome, Heather.
Did you say Alexis has a speech? Is that what I?
Alexis?
She's good.
We're going to miss you, girl.
Okay.
Good luck to you.
That's it for my report.
Any questions from Mr. Salem? Any complaints? Seeing there is none?
Bring them up.
Seeing there is none? Miller, please.
Commissioners, we did receive notice of the approval of our annual action plan for our CDBG budget, home dollars. For the Hammers for Hearts program. They had to come back next year, and we were very thankful that they will be. So they'll be back June of next year. So we definitely have a lot of paperwork and documentation, interviews to do. So we have to start that process next month. So we'll be taking applications. So I'll make sure that each one of you gets an application. If you know of anyone who is in need of some minor home repairs, painting, maybe some drywall or things of that nature, they'll be able to help us with that, and it's free of charge. We'll also start the application process for our CDBG home and ESG public services. So we're gonna start that also next month, so I'll be very busy. But if you have any questions for me, I'll definitely answer those.
Any questions? You're doing a good job. Okay. Number 13.
Madam President,
Yes, Commissioner.
I'd like to make a motion to pay the Register of Claims for June 25th through July 16th of 2004. Register of Claims number R50574 through R50660.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, motion passes. The bill. Okay. Okay, number 14, new and unfinished business. Okay, there is none. Public comment, 3 minutes, please. The public does not want to speak at this time. Number 16.
Madam President,
Yes, Commissioner.
make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.